Okay guys, so in my last video I was making a turkey pot pie out of leftovers. So I didn't want to have all that gravy and the potatoes and the things that I put on that. So I'm actually trying a keto turkey pot pie. I kept out some of the ingredients for me and I'll show you what I've got in the pot. So far what I have in here is just, celery, carrots, onions, and peas. And butter. Maybe you put more butter, it looks a little dry. But anyway, so I'm going to cook this down. I've made a keto pie crust, which, as I said in my last video, I suck with pie crust. So we'll see how this goes, but it's made in the fridge in a ball. I haven't rolled it out yet. That's where I get into trouble. So we'll see how this goes. This is just for me, so I don't really care. Okay, so I'm also throwing some spinach in here. It's not in the recipe, but I had some in the fridge. And I also put a little bit of olive oil just so that my butter wouldn't burn. And you know, I get surprised every time how much that spinach wilts down. The onions are pretty much soft. I was more concerned about the carrots and celery. I think they're okay. Again, it's just for me, and I don't mind my vegetables a little bit underdone. So just keep stirring this in. Put in a really good amount of pepper. And I'm going to put in a bit of salt. Actually, probably a lot of salt. I tend to like the stuff a little on the salty side. Now I'm going to turn this off and I'm going out to the garden. So I also added some frozen peas. I know that's not keto, but I actually like peas. And to be honest, I don't really do keto, I do low carb. So that's what this is. So I went and got some fresh herbs. So I have some fresh parsley, some oregano, some thyme. I think that was all I grabbed. And my mixture's heating there, so I'm not going to, oh, sage, I got some sage. I'm gonna miss these herbs. I'm gonna try and keep as many as I can inside over the winter. Of course, I don't know where I'm gonna be, but just gonna chop this all up and throw it in. I really don't want to heat them too much. I always feel like you lose the flavor. Probably gonna have to harvest a bunch soon and dry them. There we go. So they're now in my pot. Stir it up and get everything combined. I'm going to turn it on a little bit just to make sure they're not raw. So this is just going to make a like regular size pie plate size. So the recipe calls for half a cup of whipping cream. I don't have whipping cream. I just have half enough. So I'm going to put 3/4 in and I'm going to let it cook down. It calls for half a cup of chicken broth as well. And this is homemade chicken broth that I'm using. We make a lot of broth around here if we use any of the meats that we can make it off of. And I'm just going to stir that up. Turn it up a bit. and then just let that simmer. So this is how it looked after it was thickened and in the pie plate, and this is why I don't make macaroni. But it tasted and turned out really well. Let me know if you make it.